Looks like George Santos is not spending any time in prison in Brazil thanks to an agreement he's reached with authorities in that country. Probably a little money involved. But his problems here at home, well, they still remain. And Ring of Fire's Farron Cousins joins me to talk about what's happening. Farron picked this story up. I was like you. I was going, damn it. Are we ever going to stop this little cockroach of a character from running around the kitchen?
I know, he's been so lucky recently with all of the media hyper-focused on Donald Trump that we haven't seen much from George Santos in the last month. But he did apparently, behind closed doors, they've worked out a deal with prosecutors in Brazil. He is going to admit that he defrauded, that he stole the checks and wrote a bad check for $1,300. He's going to pay some restitution to the victim, but most importantly, he's not going to be extradited and sent to a Brazilian prison to rot for God knows how long. So that is one of the many scandals of George Santos that is actually now able to be put to bed. Again, it's disappointing because what he did down there was painfully obvious. He even admitted it to police in 2008. He has a sworn statement where he says, yeah, I did it.
Yeah.
And they still let him go.
Okay, and then the person that he was in business with in the United States stealing credit cards.
Yeah.
I mean, they said, yeah, that Santos was the guy who taught me how to steal credit cards, how to take the information off the credit cards and reuse it. And as a matter of fact, that person went to prison. He was caught. Matter of fact, they even caught the machines that they would use to create these fake inside the Santos car. Inside the car that Santos had provided for this guy.
Yeah, so, I mean, in my mind, there's very little doubt that Santos was involved in that scheme. And luckily, the police in Seattle, because he went from Orlando to Seattle to pull off the scheme, they never closed the investigation, so they've picked it back up. So that may take him down. But the biggest problem I think Santos has right now, one, is that the voters in his district hate him. Yeah. And two, he actually has a very strong Republican opponent now.
This guy is going to trounce. He's going to trounce Santos. Yeah, he's military, very humble beginning, worked in the private sector, did 2 tours in Afghanistan, worked with J.P. Morgan. This is the death of DeSantis, don't you think? I mean, not DeSantis, excuse me. I get the two confused sometimes, of Santos.
But it really is. I mean, the guy that's now running against him in the Republican primary is kind of the real life version of everything George Santos claimed to be. Came from virtually nothing, joined the military, served his country, makes it big, goes to J.P. Morgan. Now he's going to run for office because, as he said, I can't stand to see what's happening with with this office in our district here because it's a joke. Yeah. The fact that Santos was not immediately run out of office.
It speaks. It's such a black eye for the Republicans. Okay, I've seen the Democrats do the same thing. I mean, you've seen them hangers on. We're not going to prosecute them. We're not going to kick them out. It's the same thing with Republicans. Yeah. But this particular story, I mean, everything is right there in the face. He's a psychopathic liar. Has made up his life. We know that he's a thief. We know that he's committed fraud. But hey, apparently that's okay with the Republicans today.